Hello, Cal here. Playing Stardew Valley today. So, Stardew Valley is a game where you start a farm and you have to basically run it. And you can build different things. You can get animals, you can grow crops, you can marry somebody, you can go and venture in the mine. There's a whole lot to do. Now, I've played this game a little bit before. What I'm going to go ahead and do here, though, is just do a little startup guide because I'm familiar with Stardew Valley, but I'm really familiar with Harvest Moon. So we're going to just do a little quick guide to get you going. So I skipped the startup. If you want to see what the game is all about, you really should pick it up. It is a fantastic game. Yay, parsnip seeds! Alright. So here we go. We're at my my field. Die! You can go around murdering. I really should have plugged a controller. And this game has controller support, which I do like. Because I'm not a huge fan. So with the tools that we start out with here, we can cut all this down. Now this actually is grass, wild grass that I'm cutting, and then these are weeds. And we can, I believe the hoe takes care of rocks. No. Oh, pickaxe, obviously. And Harvest Moon is a hammer. So this game, you could call it a knockoff, but really it is a love letter to Harvest Moon. It's not here to insult it or to try and... It's unapologetic with how it is similar to Harvest Moon, which is fine. Like, Harvest Moon hasn't been good in a very long time, so this is a game that we've all been waiting for. Anyone who's a fan of it, and so here we go. We've got our seeds. We can plant them. So what we're doing here is we were given 15 parsnip seeds. And we are going ahead and planting those seeds right away. The first thing you gotta do, and also while I was destroying stuff there while I was killing the grass, I picked up these wild seeds, so we're gonna go ahead and plant those as well. Now every day you need to water your seeds. Obviously you gotta water your plants, which reminds me I have to water my garden. And every different type of plant will grow at its own rate. So parsnip is going to grow a lot quicker than a tomato, although it's spring, we can't grow tomatoes. That's the other thing that you got to watch out for, is whether or not you're in the right season. So I have 500 gold. So I'm going to just take that gold and go right ahead and go into the town. Now, something interesting about the town is you've got all these villagers, and every single villager has a relationship meter. So you can bring them gifts that appeal to them and slowly grow how much they like you. Now, having characters like you is important because they can do different activities, you get different events, you can get secret items, all that stuff. So it is important to have them like you. And they all have birthdays. If you remember their birthday, that's significant. We also have festivals every month. And then this is a job board, so you can make a little extra money. Oops. I'm not used to playing with the mouse. So here we go. This is the seed shop. This is a larger rucksack you can buy. Once you hold more stuff, that is a very helpful item at the beginning of the game. But we are going to, so basically what we're seeing here is parsnips, they take 4 days to mature. Beans take 10 days, but you can harvest them multiple times. And then we've got, potatoes and all kinds of items. So we're not going to worry about everything. Right now, we are going to start some beans. So I'm going to buy as many beans as I can afford. I like the beans. They're good to plant early into the season because right now it is only the 1st of spring. And then that way we can harvest them all month long. So going back to the villagers and the relationships, not only can you make friends with them, which is nice, you can also fall in love and have somebody move on to your farm after you get married and all of that stuff. So there are there's I think 4 or 5 of each women and men that you can form a relationship with. It doesn't matter which gender you are, you can form a relationship with anybody. As far as I know, there are no limits. So it's really cool, really inclusive, which I like. So I'm planting the beans on their own because I can't walk through them. So if you plant them all in a cluster like we did with the parsnips, you're going to end up not being able to water or harvest the ones in the middle. So it's going to be a total waste. So that's something to take into consideration, and that's a little bit trial and error, but just think about like basically anything that you can harvest multiple times. Well, not everything, but a lot of the things end up needing their own space. Oops. So there, we have everything done, but it is early in the day. We still can do some more stuff for the day. So we're gonna go over here. There's nothing. That bus is out of commission. That's something that you can open up later. But we can head out here to the kind of forested areas and actually gather wild little items that have started growing around depending on the season. So we might see flowers, we might see mushrooms, things like that. We can get into there and cut all that down. We're not going to. Can we get into this yet? Okay, that is triggered by some events. I'm not going to get into that just yet. But that is what kind of drew me into Stardew Valley, was having that, or what kept me engaged was inside that building. So that's something to look forward to. So this is where we can upgrade our house. And as you can see over here on the right, I have an energy meter. So I have to mind that while I'm doing this. That goes down if I'm harvesting, if I'm planting, watering, all of that stuff is going to affect whether or not I have enough energy to carry on with my day. So I'm not seeing a whole lot of items here to gather. I believe I can run. Oh, it's top. Okay, I'm running already. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head back here to my farm, which, as you saw, I just went another path to my farm. And I'm going to just work in my yard. It's good at the start of the game to really maximize the amount of energy you're given, because later on you're going to be wanting to do a lot more. And if you can take care of stuff at the beginning of the game, especially like these rocks or these sticks in your yard, that can be a huge significance. The other thing that you can do, and I just want to check if that's an ability I have at this point, is, yes, chop down trees. Now, chopping down trees, this is another farming option for you. So yeah, not only am I gathering all the wood, which is nice, I also picked up some sap. Now that sap you can use in different crafting, or certain trees will end up dropping seeds. And if you are able to pick up a seed, then you can replant the tree. Depending on the tree, you can actually build devices to harvest syrup, to harvest sap, those kinds of things. So then you can have that to sell. So you could essentially be a tree farmer if that was your thing. And of course we can sell the lumber. But the lumber doesn't fetch a terribly high price. So energy's starting to run low. I'm just going to head over here. This is the shipping bin. We are going to ship daffodil, our fiber. I don't need the sap right now, but we're going to just hang on to those building materials because they are good to have. We will be doing some building. We'll have to do some upgrading to our little house. Every day you can sleep, you get a little rundown of how your day went. And, of course, the daily save. Which, in Harvest Moon, you used to have to manually save at bedtime, so that's a nice alternative. Oh, we've got mail! Okay, so I've just got back from a fishing trip. You should come see what I've got to show you. So, that's a friend of ours. Soon-to-be friend. He has something to show us, so we'll have to go see him. His name is Willie. And he just got back from fishing, so I would assume he would be on the dock or around where you would catch fish. So we're gonna go and visit him in just a second. But first thing you always need to do is water your crops. And you do have limited water in your watering can, which I think is kind of an outdated thing at this point because it's just a little, I guess it's supposed to add that little bit of realism. It's a little bit of a hat tip to Harvest Moon, which required it, but it's kind of unnecessary at this point. You're just running back and forth to your little watering hole. It's kind of a waste of time. And you can actually develop sprinklers and stuff later on, so once you start doing that, oh look, we have an item we can harvest here. So it's a leek. So that's something that we can use. We can eat it and regain some energy and health. We could cook with it, which we are not able to do because we don't have a kitchen. Or we can sell it, which is what we're going to do because the idea early on in the game is to maximize the amount of money you have. So we are actually going to head down to the lake. So we have a river here, but I believe our friend Willie is located somewhere down here. Oh. Daffodil. Oh, there he is, our friend Willie. So as far as I know, each character has their own little unique storyline. I'm skipping over this because you will have the opportunity to read all the story if you choose to purchase the game. Again, this is a game I'm a huge fan of, so if you are able to swing it, do. It is a lot of fun. So now we have a fishing rod, which obviously enables us to fish. Fishing is a huge, huge part of this game. And he will actually go ahead and buy any of the fish that we catch right here as long as he's open. Which is pretty handy because then you're not waiting around for the shipment bin to come in the evening. You can just... Oops, so we'll cast our rod out. Not familiar with the mouse controls. And fishing can get a little bit on the tedious side. As you continue, you can actually upgrade your rod, and it enables you to be able to attach bait to the rod. I wonder if that was the wrong button. From there, the bait will help you catch better and have an easier time catching fish. But there are some fish that are really rare and difficult to catch. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I actually had to look up how to fish when I first played this game because there's not really a clear tutorial. So I'm wondering if I have to press the right mouse button instead of the left. Here we go. We caught it. So now we're going to keep this bar behind the fish and try and catch him. Yay! Caught the fish! Got it! A sardine! Yay! Sardine! Oh! There isn't enough room in my inventory for sardine. Okay, let's throw out this weed and put the sardine here. See, this is why I advocate for purchasing the larger rucksack at the beginning of the game. So, hello, oops. Wrong button. So, I want to sell him a sardine. There we go. So, I got a little bit of money for that. That's cool. Alright, so that was fishing. And it is the left mouse click, by the way. I just did it wrong. So we can pick up little things off the beach here, oysters and clams, and we actually... Oh, my inventory is full. We can actually... Oops, there's the map. Collect. You can collect for what you've... Like the fish you've caught. So there's our sardine. Items shipped from foraging. That kind of thing. So every time we ship something, it's going to show up in our collection. So that's a little bit of extra enrichment of this game. You can try and complete a collection. I'm stuck in the cemetery. And there, once you unlock that little abandoned house, there are a little bit more things that you can do with your collections and stuff in there too. So that's another way to play the game. And there are also achievements in this game, and they're just small things for like sending, shipping a certain amount of dollar amounts, having so much money, that kind of thing, completing collections. So you can earn those achievements, and they actually unlock new content in-game, which is nice because that's kind of not done very much anymore. Now that we have the achievements, they're almost self-satisfactory. And in the newer games, but this one, no. So we also have a crafting mechanic. Like, I would like to craft this chest, but it's 50 wood. So once I have a chest, then I'll have a place in my house to store my tools and materials that I'm not using at the moment. So why don't we just go ahead and quickly craft ourselves a chest. I already have 41 wood, so this is good. This is why we save our wood and we collect it and all that stuff, just so we have it there ready for whenever we do decide to craft something. The other thing we're going to do is pop back into town, I forgot along the way, and pick up some more seeds, because we actually have enough money to purchase some more turnip seeds. So we're going to do that and get some more turnips growing. And this is probably, growing crops at the beginning of the game is the best way to maximize your money. You, I was just cutting things with a pickaxe. You could buy animals. Animals are an option, but the payoff for animals is not very good in any Harvest Moon game, but specifically in this game, it is not worth it, really. So, as you can see, we can put our chest wherever we want. It's nice. So, I don't... Well, we are going to use the hoe. So, why don't we keep everything in the inventory for now? And, we'll go over to... Put it all away in a minute. So I'm going to plant those seeds. The mixed seeds are really cool because you get something random. And you can kind of complete some of your collections that way. That maybe you wouldn't have been able to find easily or something like that. There's certain things that only grow in the mine, for instance, which we haven't even touched on yet. And there's a whole lot in this game to unlock, to do. Looks like they're having a fitness, it's like a gym in there. So we're gonna just purchase as many parsnips as our little money pocket can allow. And keeping up with this garden is kind of difficult at the beginning. It's a little bit overwhelming when you first jump into this game, like what you should be doing. And a lot of times we do want to focus on getting those animals just because they're a lot more fun to have and they're cute. But really, if you want to maximize your time, farming is the way to go. The other thing is, as I mentioned, you can become romantic with certain characters, which is a huge staple in these games. It's something that you really work towards. It's kind of one of the main goals, is to find a partner in your farming. So this one, you are only able to give somebody that you are wanting to be romantic with a gift twice per week. So you really got to make those gifts count, and you got to start early into the game. You can't just decide, okay, I want to marry this person. I'm starting to get tired here. Hopefully I can hold up and not be exhausted. Okay, we made it. Good. You don't want to just decide, halfway into fall that, oh, I really want to get married here, and it's going to take you a while to form those relationships. So, right out of the gate, pick somebody who you want to be romantic with and start bringing them gifts. Those meters can go down, so you need to be consistent. Same with friendships. The friendship meters can go down. Okay, so we were lucky enough to get rain here today, so we don't have to water anything. Okay, this is just an advertisement for the larger backpack that I was talking about before, so we don't need to worry about that. So this is a great day to maybe go up to the mines. So as for the fishing, when it's raining, you actually have a better chance of catching fish, which is nice. We don't need to water our crops, which is really nice. We won't worry about that right now. And the only thing is, I'm not 100% sure, but I think that your energy goes down a little bit quicker when it is raining, so that is something to watch out for. Now, see, there's a job on the job board. I don't bother with the job board. I find they're a little bit... I think they're kind of designed to give you a little bit of a tutorial, which is kind of cool. But at the same time, I don't feel like the jobs are worth it. They're a little bit more work than I would, like looking for a certain item or something like that, when I could just gather a bunch of items and sell them and make the 200 gold that somebody was offering me to bring them the item to begin with. So I don't really bother with the job board ever. I did when I first started playing, but again, this is supposed to be some tips, so. Oh, see, we cannot go to the mine yet. This fella there is busy blocking it off, or trying to stop it from being blocked off, I guess. So, I guess something to remember about this game is it does unlock things kind of in stages to try not to overwhelm you. But at the same time, it still gives you that aspect of just throwing you into the world, and you know, you got to try and do your best to figure out exactly what's going on and what you're going to do with yourself and your time. So we can just talk about the crafting a little bit more here. This is our fencing and our gates. You can do that in order to, that's for your animals again. So I guess if you do want to get animals, the best way to start would be early on into the game. Immediately work towards gathering up materials. Oops. We need an axe. So we are going to grab some wood here because we're going to need a lot of wood. The other thing about building a barn, though, is we are going to also need a lot of money. It costs a fair bit of money to build a barn. You can start out with the chicken coop, alternatively, which is a great way to get, you know, used to having animals. When you first get an animal, you're not going to be able to get resources from them immediately. They have to grow up a little bit, so your chickens will not lay eggs. You do need to form a relationship with them. As you bond with your animals, they are going to do better. You're going to get better quality food from them. They're going to, as long as you keep them happy and healthy, then they are going to be good for your farm. So it is a fun way to farm, but also animals are a lot more work. You can you have to go in and harvest everything manually. You have to feed them. You have to bring them in and out depending on the weather, or make sure that they have a way to get in and out. Just really, animals, they're not the easy way to play the game. And I find that interesting because they tend to be a huge focus of these games, but really farming is where the money is made and where it is, where you get the more positive experience in the game, I guess, or as far as difficulty is concerned. Now, you're going to want to farm if you want to complete those collections, though. So they kind of entice you to play all aspects of the game, just to try and unlock things. And as you go through, you actually are going to be unlocking more crafting recipes and all of that. So there is so much more to do than just farm in this game. You could even, if you wanted to, be a professional cook. As things progress, you could purchase ingredients or grow them in your farm, and then cook them into different recipes and sell them. Like, there are options for everything, and there are collections for all of that. So here is where we could go ahead and buy our animals. We can't purchase anything because we do not have a barn for them to live on. So there's our supplies. As you can see how expensive. Like, you need a heater to keep them happier. Oh, we have to build everything. So you can get, see, we have to get all these different sized barns and everything. So we can start with chickens and then move up and get cows and sheep and all of that. Pigs, I think. So there's really a lot we can do with this. Now, this is a huge empty area. We're going to see if a friend of ours is available. Everybody in the village has their own schedule, so you might be able to find them in certain places hanging around depending on the day, the season, and the weather. So some people like to be out in the rain, some people you'll find inside. Some people will be, you know, out during the day, more active during the day. Some people are more active at night. So this is locked. We can hear someone inside. So now that we've done that, I think that's triggering some more things to happen later. So this is a tower. I won't give away too much about who lives in the tower, but it is another character that you get involved with, and they help you out a little bit. So pretty much everyone in the town is here to help you there's no real conflict. It's a very, very passive game. So they want you to relax, to farm, to really enjoy yourself here and live in this world rather than it be a video game with a conflict and enemies and all of that. Like, the enemy is your own determination, and the enemy is, you know, the weather and failed crops and all of that. So, I mean, we don't really get failed crops, but as you can see, oh, they're all growing evenly now. But sometimes you can get one or two that'll grow unevenly, that sort of thing. So, I don't think there's anything else we really need to cover right now. So just, yeah, if you get Stardew Valley, first thing you want to do, grow as many crops as possible, spend your days harvesting things from around the village, and just, you know, you can go talk to people after your energy runs low, but don't waste your days talking to people around the town. Don't make that your focus. You will have plenty of time to exhaust their very limited dialogue, so don't run off at the beginning of the game and just try to talk to everyone and find out everything about the town. It'll come. Let it come naturally, with the exception of deciding who you are going to form a relationship with. I do suggest, if you want to get married early on into the game, you go online and you find out about the characters and their schedules and what they like, and then you can, you know, go visit them. And as you can see, like, she is not interested in me right now, but as time goes on, maybe we can get married. So that's Stardew Valley. Pick it up, buy it on Steam, and have fun playing. Bye!